welcome back to the podcast. My name is Ghislain. I'm a psychic leadership coach, and today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite topics, and that's how you can start to lead from the alignment and the intelligence of your body to really start to tap into visionary leadership. This is how you start to create success from a place of alignment without the force, the hustle, and the push. So if you're a woman who's really ready to lead from a place of deep empowerment, who's ready to speak fiercely and who doesn't want to sacrifice herself to get ahead, this episode is for you. We've been conditioned to lead from the belief that our mind is the most powerful form of intelligence that's available to us. And this actually couldn't be further from the truth. I want you to understand that there are all different types of intelligence for you to connect and you to lead from. Now, particularly if you're a woman, the most powerful thing you can do is start to lead from the intelligence of your body. And this is because while your mind is a really powerful tool, it's also the place where fear, lack, and limitation live. When you lead from your mind alone, this is how you really start to become risk adverse. You make decisions, but you doubt yourself, you second guess yourself, and your decisions feel wobbly. And this is because they're not anchored in the unapologetic knowing and trust that comes from when you start to tap into the wisdom of your body. So I really want you to understand that yes, your mind is a really powerful tool for you to lead, but it is also your most limited form of intelligence. Your body is your most powerful form of intelligence. Your body is your home of your instincts. This is where visionary leadership really lives, because for you to be a visionary is going to require you to think and to lead from a place that is really beyond logic. This is where it's going to require you to make decisions that don't make sense, but that you know fucking absolutely are the right decisions that you are making. And this can only come from your body. So the reason that your body is one of your most powerful resources is your body is literally the vessel for your soul. This is where the intelligence of your soul lives. And so when we start to understand that our body is the vessel for the soul, we can start to understand that within this vessel that houses our soul are different types of intelligence for us to connect with. The same way that our mind is one form of intelligence that houses strategy, logic, planning, really important tools, but it is not the only place and it is not your most powerful. And so when we start to understand that the body is this really amazing, complex systems that houses these different types of intelligence, and when we start to understand what those different types of intelligence are, we can start to connect with them to lead from more of a visionary perspective, to start to lead from more of the potential that is available to us, because your soul, she's unlimited. There is no limitations in the world of the energetic. The limitations are in this timeline and this life frame and in the logic. Okay. So when we understand that the body is this beautiful system of different intelligence forms for us to connect with, we can start to tap into those to start to activate our genius. So there is the intelligence of the heart. This is where visionary status really lives, because your heart, she's unbound. Your heart is expansive. She never doubts herself. This is where your unlimited self lives. This is where you can really start to tap into what is the vision that your soul has for you for this lifetime. And then you can start to draw on the logic of the mind. Then once you've got the vision, then how do you use the very powerful tool of logic, strategy, cognitive thinking to execute the bigness of your mission that you came here to achieve? right? When a woman starts to awaken the intelligence of her womb, and oh my God, if I spend my life helping women reconnect to their wombs, trust me, I would do it. They anchor into their power because you, as a woman, your womb is your most powerful source of power. It is literally the home of your creative force. This is where you bloody birth humans into reality. And so all the creative power of the universe literally sits in your womb. And so when you start to access this, you can start to draw the power, the energy of your womb up into your body. And this is how you become a woman who owns her power, who starts to live in alignment with her true power source that is available to her. When you start to go into the vulva, this is where you start to open up your pathways to communication. It's how you start to speak in a really influential way, because when you speak from your vulva, you're tapping into an expansive, influential frequency. And this is when your words aren't just heard, but they're felt. And your ability to make people feel something, your ability to influence people, to empower them, that is going to come from you being able to connect and channel the intelligence of your vulva. And so one part of starting to lead from the power that's available to us is to understand that our body has a very sophisticated set of different types of intelligence that are here to support us to fulfill the purpose that our soul came here to incarnate in. Now, the second part of starting to lead from alignment with your body is kind of in two parts, and I'm going to break it down for you now, is to understand that your soul has your unlimited potential. Everything that is available to you exists within your soul for you to start to embody and then manifest in this reality. The second part of this is that we need to understand that your body is literally an energetic record of every single life that you have incarnated in. Now, this means that it has the wisdom from all of the lives that you've incarnated in. It also has the imprints. And so what is an imprint? An imprint is a trauma response. And so what is trauma? Trauma is any event or experience in which the body changes due to that event or experience because the body hasn't been able to complete the cycle that she needed to go through. And so this forms a stagnation in an energetic field. And then that stagnation presents as a physical manifestation, which then eventually becomes disease, sickness, illness. I really broke this down in last week's episode. So if you haven't listened to it, I suggest you go check it out because I'm not going to go into any more detail than that. So what we need to understand is that our soul is literally an energetic map of both the potential and of all the wisdom, all the experiences that we've been through in every single life that we've incarnated in, as well as our ancestors and the collective imprints. And now, anytime something's happened that has caused us harm or in which we've not been able to close a trauma loop, an imprint is created in our physical and energetic body. And then that the body, because she is here to protect us, keeps a record of that. And so this is where the instincts of the body, even though you might want to lead, even though you might be here to inspire millions of people, if you have imprints from your ancestral lineage, from your past lives in which you were killed for holding more of your power, then you have to go into the physical and the energetic body, access those imprints and release them for you to literally hold more of your power. Now, something that we really need to understand is that our body is instinctive. She is picking up on more data than our intellectual and our conscious mind can ever keep a track of because there's just not capacity for it. And so within the records and this intelligence of your body, are things that need to be brought to your awareness that you might not be consciously aware of. And I'm going to share a story about what that looked like for me just this week, today, in fact. So I am literally coming out of one of the most challenging phases of life and business. It's been one of those years where literally everything that can be thrown at you will get thrown at you. And I often think that this happens as like a testament for how much can you really practice what you preach. Because of that, I have been carrying a lot more stress, a lot more tension in my body. And so one of my practices that I religiously do every single morning, and I would really encourage you to start doing, is to connect with the intelligence of my body and to ask her what she needs for that day. And when I tapped into the intelligence of my body, what she needed this morning was yoga. And I was like, okay, I haven't done a yoga practice in a very long time. I have a ridiculous amount of different yoga teachings under my belt. So I was like, okay. And as I dropped out of the head and into the body, all of a sudden I could feel the tension that I had been carrying. And my body literally started to reveal to me a story about what she has been holding for the last 6 months. All of a sudden, the intelligence of my body was telling me that I'm closing to life, that I'm closing my heart, that I've been acting out of fear. Now, there was a conscious part of my mind that knew this. I could feel the tension in my body. I could feel that I was really tight. And as I allowed her to really start to show me all of the ways in which I needed to hear her wisdom today, I felt my body start to open. I felt the stagnation in my physical body, like my bones were literally cracking. I could feel my fascial system start to create more space in it because I was allowing the intelligence of my body to really tell the story. And today I'm noticing my shoulders aren't up against my ears. My shoulders are more relaxed. I'm feeling more open, more confident, more empowered. Now that didn't come from anything to do with logic. That came from me unapologetically following the wisdom of my body, and that my body, my soul needed me to know that I was closing myself off to life. And this is the reason why I wasn't feeling satisfied, was because I was consistently holding so much pressure and tension that wasn't necessary. And now what we need to understand from an energetic perspective, if you think about a cup and you energetically only have, so there's only so much that this body can hold. If it's full of stress, tension, unprocessed emotion, unprocessed memory and trauma loops, there is no space for you to tap into your potential. There is no space for you to innovate or create, or for you to be in the expansiveness that's actually available to you. And so it's only through allowing your body to express these things that you actually move it through you. And this is what we really need to understand about when we start to tap into the intelligence of the body, is that she always knows exactly what you need to move forward. And it's never going to make sense. And this is because your body is literally tapped into the spiritual, the energetic, and the physical realm. It's picking up on way more data than your logical mind, which is limited in its capacity, will ever be able to pick up. And so when we start to lead from this place, we, one, free ourselves from the subconscious imprints and patterns that are holding us back. We start to release tension, doubt in our bodies. And then from that place, we can start to tap into more of our unlimited potential. And now, why does this matter when you're leading? Well, when someone isn't tapped into their body, when someone is leading from their mind, it's always covered in fear. It's never really deeply embodied. However, when you drop into the wisdom of your body, when you connect down into your womb and your power source, that is how you start to become the woman who walks into a room and owns her space. That is how you actually trust yourself, like actually trust yourself, not just telling yourself that you trust yourself. And that is really where make decisions from a place of deep empowerment. It's where you start to trust yourself unapologetically. And it's also where you tap into your genius, because visionary leadership, it's not going to come from the mind. It's going to come from your body, because your body is the pathway to connect to your soul, and your soul has your unlimited potential. Your spiritual self has all the infinite possibilities that are available for you in this lifetime. And it is from connecting to that through the body that you anchor it through the body, and then you bring your mind on board and you create the strategy to allow you to execute the visionary dream that you have for your business. And more importantly than that, when a woman leads from her body, she unapologetically trusts herself. When there's times that are feeling uncertain, or where she's trying to navigate really complex situations, when you tap into the intelligence of your body, whilst it might still be hard, there is an unwavering sense of trust in the decisions that you are making. You're making them for the right reasons, because you're making them from alignment, and you do not get that clarity from your mind. You get that clarity from your body, because you tap into your heart, you tap into the intelligence of your body. And this holds the truth, because it doesn't hold the fear, the scarcity, the limitation, the lack that exists within your mind. The most powerful thing you can do as a woman is start to be led by the intelligence of your body. This is where you also access your ability to create, you innovate. When you start to lead in alignment with her cycles, you start to access deep states of flow. This is how things just start to come from your body. Now, particularly when we're in the realms of AI, this is more important than ever, because when you write from your body, there is an energetic frequency that you input into what you're writing, and then your words are felt, whether you're speaking them or whether you're writing them. If you're a leader and you want to lead from a visionary status, you want your words to be felt, whether they're spoken or whether they're written. The second thing is that this is where AI cannot replicate the innovation that is available to you when you start to go out into the spiritual realms and you start to embody them in the body and then use the mind to execute them. Okay, so this is, we're not throwing out the mind, we're just learning how to use the mind to serve us to execute the amazing intelligence that's available from the body. And so my invitation for you this week is, what are the practices that you can start pulling on that allow you to lead from alignment to your body, that allow you to access your genius? Okay. For me, my practices are intuitive yoga. And this is really starting to move in a way that my body wants to move, not my mind telling my body how she wants to move. Intuitive movement is another one for me. This is where I will just dance and I'll just allow the body to tell me a story. Music is another one, because music allows me to drop down into the felt sensation of the body. Being in nature, swimming in the ocean is another one for me. These are all moments where I'm able to tap into the intelligence of my body. And when you start to connect to the intelligence from your body, you start to connect to your sense of power, confidence, and trust. And so in those moments where you're being thrown, you're in the storms of life and you're being thrown around and you've got shit hitting the fan, you want to lead from embodied clarity, and that is going to come from anchoring into the knowing of your body. So I really want to invite you this week to tap into what are the practices you can start cultivating that are going to allow you to lead from alignment with your body. And something I want you to reflect on is, what is your body story? Because so many women carry beliefs about their body that keep them disconnected from ultimately their ultimate power source. There's not a woman on earth who hasn't felt shame, and myself included, like I put my hand up in this. who hasn't felt like her body isn't good enough. And this is because there is this societal conditioning and narrative around what the ideal perception of a body is, which is completely bullshit, because depending on what century you're in or what trend is in vogue, the ideal body type changes. And this only further creates disconnection from your most powerful source. So I really invite you this week to get clear on what is your body story? Where is that coming from? And what would it be like to start to lead from the intelligence of your body? And then I want you to start to cultivate certain practices that are going to allow you to drop back into the intelligence that is your body. Now, if you're a woman who really is ready to start accessing her potential, who's really starting to lead from an empowered and innovative space, I've opened up a very limited number of one-to-one spaces with me. These are really for high achieving women who want to access their spiritual gifts, who want to learn to lead from the alignment of their body so they can become the powerhouses, so they can lead really expansive businesses. This is for you. So if you are one of those women, go ahead and book your call. And if you would like a practice to help drop you back into your body so you can start to connect to her intelligence, I've created an embodiment practice for you below. The link for that is in the show notes. That's all I have for you. I'll be back next week. Thank you